Hello and welcome to another colony submission video here in the channel. This is number 19 in our series taking a look at what you guys have made and all the neat things you've come up with. And boy is this a really cool build. It took my computer 6.5 minutes to load this save file, and I'm getting a very healthy 17 frames per second on single speed. This is a beast of a build. So let's hit pause, just so I can move the camera around. This one comes to us from a viewer named Gunnar, who writes, they've actually only been playing Iron Teeth for the last few months. It's been a long time since they played this map being Helix Mountain, if you could not tell, because there's a giant castle in the middle of it. But they wanted to explore the functionality of the zip lines and, play with the Folktails a little bit each time the game gets updated. So the main crux of this is there's a giant castle in the middle, which you've seen. That's its own district, and then some of the outlying areas are another district. And there's a whole bunch of stuff going on. And I'm going to do my best to show it to you. So let's go all the way down to the very bottom of the map, down to layer 0, and we'll go layer by layer. So this is a big map. We've played this a couple times before, and what they've done here is they've very cleanly separated bad water and good water, I guess. We just call it water. We've got our two... See, these are 3x3. That gives you an idea how big this map is. It's 3x3 bad water sources. At the very bottom of the map, with power shafts, by the way, run underneath here, and they've got 52,801 power going basically all over the map here. We'll follow this all the way down here to the middle where it makes this turn, and we do have these power shafts going up, like I said. Right here... I guess at one point this was some sort of pass-through thing, but we've got vertical power shaft here, vertical power shaft here. We go up one more layer, they connect here, but we'll get back to that in a little bit. This goes all the way out around the middle here, which is where most of the water from this map does come from, into this little sorting system. And this here is just access, but we have sluices here that go to the main bad water diversion. These sluices, of course, activate when the contamination is, well, contaminating. And then it all just goes right off the edge of the map through a big array of water wheels, which I will briefly demonstrate, each making about 160-ish HP. We're going to pause that so I can actually move the camera around. And then, of course, we do have plenty of other stuff happening as well with the clean water, which usually just goes straight up here. But we also have an inlet into this area, funneling all of the clean water from this side of the map right here. And this, of course, is set up. Actually, no, it's not. I'm very surprised. This does not do anything else except just exist as a sluice. So I guess this is to prevent backfeeding, maybe? I thought for sure that was going to be doing something. But at any rate, you can see there's a little bit of a remnant of the poison water here in this power shaft tunnel, but that's not going to affect anything even remotely negatively. We've got this sluice here that closes when things are contaminated. I'm willing to bet this goes up to take care of some sort of something upstairs. But regardless, there's still other stuff going on down here. We do have clean water going into various places. Again, most likely to go up somewhere. The game really did not want to let me move my cursor around here. But power shafts, again, going all over the map. And this is just terrain that's existed. But you can see here, we've got various sluices taking care of water management, which will become a little bit more obvious what's happening there when we go up to the next several layers. So here we have triple floodgates going off the edge of the map. We've got all sorts of various constructions here. Like I said, we got sluices here. This just closes when the downstream depth is reached. But there's some very well thought out water management all over this map. And you can see these little holes and stuff for power shaft connections, so on and so forth. Continue going up a little bit. We've got these bad water sources here, and it looks like these are just completely capped off here. So that's one way to deal with them. We keep going up and up and up, and you start to see some more of this infrastructure. We got tons and tons and tons of water wheels absolutely everywhere, doing a little bit of snaking motion here. Generate a little bit more power in various locations. but I am going to keep hitting pause so I can actually move my camera around. And we do have water wheels here. We have water wheels here. And now we've got some tree farms down here all the way on level 4. Taking care of some irrigation-related stuff here. We've got more tree farms. These are growing maple, which, of course, are being used for maple syrup for food production. Got some hydroponic... Well, they're not hydroponic farms. They're aquatic farms, because this is the Folktails. Keep going up and up and up and up, and you start to see the actual terrain of the Helix come into view, like we would have known. But you might have noticed here in the middle, we'll go back down just a little bit more. This is a whole lot of food storage. If we hit tab here, you can see that this is all nicely organized. Once we get up to the actual levels here, we have one layer there. We have another layer on top with some different foods. Some of them are the same, some of them are different. And I don't know if you've noticed yet or not, but there's no ladders anywhere. The mod is not installed for the playthrough. I have it installed because that's how I end up playing the game, but they haven't used it. So continue going up and up and up and up, and there's just more and more and more storage. Even more storage. And you see how the water has been kind of corralled at the very bottom? Go all the way back down here. This is just wide open, but as you go up, it's very, very slowly funneled up in these narrow things, brought into these canal areas, and then you get up to here, where we have sluice for diversion. This is closing above contamination. This is closing above contamination as well. And then that's capped off. And now we have all of these aqueducts buried underneath stuff. Well, to a certain extent, because there's multiple levels of things going on here. But you can see exactly what's happening. We have, wow, we have the Fountains of Joy. We have, well, these are the agoras up here where the beavers go and do whatever they do with that weird green substance. And all sorts of cool stuff. We've got some swimming pools. Well, they're technically Lidos, I guess, for these guys. Some housing, a little bit of other recreation, some really nice decoration as well. It ends up looking quite good. Continue going up. We've got zip lines going through this entire thing. And then there's some support structure. And then the land actually closes in above this. So this is a completely hidden thing. I'm going to try and get the beavers to walk in there with the first-person mod in just a second. But again, there's a ton of stuff for us to take a look at here. We're just going to keep on going up. And now we have the Earth Recultivator. And you know we're always going to set this off at the end of the video. So we'll come back to that. But again, the design on this is just really, really good. And now we get into all these different dam pieces. So we have regular levees, of course. But then we get into these inverted slopes. And this is part of the dam decoration mod, which I do have installed for the most recent Emberpelts playthrough. I don't think I'm going to be able to build something nearly as cool as this, though. But you can see in here we have some large windmills that are actually fully enclosed, with the exception of these little decorative areas, I guess, to let some wind through here, even though the game doesn't really care. But boy, oh boy, is there a lot going on here, in case you couldn't tell. But you can see here, we've got a pretty symmetrical distribution of zip lines all the way around. That was something else they noted in their submission, is that, you know, since the zipline stations, in the vanilla game at least, can only ever have 2 connections, you have to kind of get creative with how these things interact with each other. So if we zoom in on this, you see we've got zipline beam here, we've got a zipline beam here, so these are actually 2 separate systems at this exact point. And then as we get back over here, see this zipline station connects over to here, but then nowhere else. So the beavers come out of here, and then they can just walk over to, say, this zipline station, which connects to here, and then this connects to here, and then so on and so forth. So you have transfer spots, right? It's like taking the subway in a city. Well, okay, in the U.S. we don't really have any, but like 3 cities with functional public transit. But you get the idea. So in places in the world that do have that, then this is kind of a similar thing where you're going to have to make your transfer somewhere and go find whatever line you need to get on. But it seems really functional and really, really, really well thought out, really well designed, and it looks great too. So let's keep going up. We got some of these warehouses that somehow don't have anything assigned to them. I'm not sure if that's because I didn't install every mod that wasn't absolutely required to get this thing to work, or if that was just left empty for some reason. But can continue going up here. And it's a masterclass in design. Everything just looks so good. And now we're at the very top of the layers. And just look how imposing this is. This is like a beaver fortress. It's just super cool. Extremely, extremely cool. And there's other structures around the map too. Like we have this house here that I'm sure probably has a name. I don't remember the wind gauge being a thing. Maybe that's because I don't really play Folktales that much, but that's pretty cool. You peel this back, and what's inside is some water storage, some storage of other fluids as well, and then water down there, and then down there. It just keeps on going and going and going. And, of course, we do have power. If I can get this to... there we go. Vertical power shafts. We've got zip lines coming in and out. And that power goes all the way up here. And I guess it just stops here. So I'm assuming there's some sort of something else that's supposed to be connected here. But we've got windmills that are connected through these water wheels and everything. So I guess there's probably still a bunch of other stuff they're trying to do here. It's just really, really hard to pick out individual things to list for that just because there's so much going on. So I'm going to take their advice. And we are going to click on here and follow a random... That's a bot. Follow a random beaver around. And see exactly what they get up to. Assuming I can actually get this to show anything. Because they will go all over the map, I've been told. At some point, there we go. We're on the zip line, and then we're walking around. Up here to the carousel. As one does. I don't know that I can really speed this up any more than this without it getting real choppy, but yeah, there we go. And back on the zip line they go. Walking up. Walking around to another zip line. Sorry if you have motion sickness, but you can see how this network is all interconnected. There's all sorts of different things the beavers can do. And it looks like, well, I have the nighttime turned off because it makes much harder to film good videos in this game when you have all the shadows and the darkness everywhere. But you can see there's just all sorts of things and places for these beavers to go and experience and just have a really, really fulfilling life here. By the way, there's 757 bots that are doing pretty much all of the work. We do have 10 workers in the Earth cultivator that eventually will get set off at the very end here. You can also see all these different patterns on their tails. That was a mod, I forget exactly what it's called, but it adds some more paintings to the detailer. Yeah, they just keep on going to all these different spots. I'm going to pick a different beaver, see if they go somewhere else, because I think it is kind of modularized here. Alright, let's see. No, yeah, you're sleeping, that's fine, but... Ooh, age 70, huh? Well-being of 65, they're probably still getting way on up there in their lifespan. Let's get through the end of the night here and see where this beaver ends up going. Of course, they're all unemployed because, well, there's no more work to do, so they can spend their days doing whatever they choose. Alright, so rise and shine here. Look at all these beavers on the zip lines. We can see coming up here all the way around the outside, walking around, doing something. I wish I could see with these things peeled all the way back. It gets a little hard. Yep, getting some food. Walking out. All the way down, back on the zip lines. No? Okay. Thank you, autosave. Absolutely crippling this video for the next 5 seconds. Visiting a campfire with absolutely no fire because it's during the day and you don't need that, I suppose. Where are you going? Alright. On another zip line. All the way over to here. And I'm assuming they're in their... oh, no, they're at a contemplation spot because I know there's housing everywhere. Again, there's just so much stuff going on here. You really can't ever be sure what you're looking at until they actually get there. But I'll put this back up now. This is just, it's so impressive. And I know I can't possibly do it justice. The amount of things that have been placed in here, the amount of work that's been done to it, and all of the really, really cool things that we've been able to see. So I'm going to try my best to find a spot and walk through here. Because remember, it's all stairs. So there's got to be a way. Got to be a way. Oh, this is so hard to move around with the lag everywhere. Hello? There we go. I promise I'm barely nudging my computer mouse and it is just absolutely just going to town. Is it really not going to let me go down here because of the clearance? Okay. Well, that's unfortunate. But I think we can walk up these damn pieces. Yes. Yes, we can. We've got all sorts of fun stuff we can go take a look at. Cross our bridge here. Hope to not fall down in the water. We will ascend these stairs. And then we'll ascend these stairs. Yeah, see, now we're in Botland. We got a whole bunch of other stuff happening here. Oh, it is so hard to move the camera around with this. Somewhere in here, there's going to be something interesting to show you. I am absolutely certain of it. You know, outside of just the incredible organization present. Various statues and so on and so forth. So what about we come out to here? Okay, this is a little bit easier to move around, but it's just like, look how majestic this is from a beaver's eye perspective. Obviously, we can't ride the zip lines. But we can continue to try and find some places to go here that will actually allow me to jump up and show you guys how this stuff is set up. I think it's going to let me do just a little bit more here. I know we're on like the edge of the map, but you can kind of get a good idea for, again, sorry for the motion sickness, just how massive, absolutely massive this castle is. And yes, I do love the carousels on the turrets up there. All the different designs, little pointy cone-shaped structure there. Pretty neat stuff. Let's come over here and try to get into this longhouse type structure. I'm not sure if there is a path that's going to allow me to do it. Okay, so not really, but I can kind of just jump in through here. And you can't see all the way up, but you can get a really good appreciation for how this is laid out here. All sorts of neat stuff. So let's come out of that because I don't think you want to look at any more of the motion sickness stuff here. But this is the area we were just walking around in. We have all of our dirt excavators. I imagine they probably had to do a ton of terraforming to make this thing work. But just even the aesthetic sensibilities of this utility area where you have all these zipline stations out here in the Botland district and the builders' huts and everything. It's really good. It's really good, folks. So if we go over here to Botland, this is the district center for Botland. And obviously there's all sorts of other stuff to take a look at here. But just the way that this is set up, as like an outlying farm area, I guess you'd call it like a... I don't even know what the correct term would be for it. So I guess I probably shouldn't try. But, you know, every castle in the medieval ages had some sort of outlying farms and villages and stuff that would support the people that lived in the castle and all the commerce and all of the different governmental facilities and everything. And this does a really good job of that, I feel like. It looks cool. It looks so cool. And I just can't believe how incredibly detailed and robust this build is. It's just really, really neat. And I know there's other stuff that they said they wanted to do with this, and they're probably still going to keep playing, and it's not technically complete. But man, am I glad they sent this in. So, you know what time it is. I will, I guess, wait until we have beavers actually out and about during the day to set this thing off, so we'll get that going there. At triple speed, it's 6 FPS, which I think you can understand why. Oh, but it's just so cool. I'm going to attempt to find a good place to watch this. I'm guessing it's probably going to make the most sense to come up here on one of these top areas, maybe in the corner here. And then we'll just watch this go off into the atmosphere, and that will be it for this one. All right. So now it's single time speed. The beavers have become out and about. Let's hit pause. Let's hit launch. It's going to take a while for that to register. There we go. And I'm going to get us situated up here. And now we can see this thing unfold. Look at those things coming out. Don't you just love to see it? I love watching that stuff. So yeah, I really appreciate you sending this in. This is so cool to look at, and I know I probably missed a whole bunch of stuff, but there's just so much going on. I could probably spend hours looking at this and still not see everything. So it is, of course, thanks to folks like the Beard Boosters who make these things possible. Because... Oh, wait! This hadn't been set off before? Okay, well, this is actually pretty cool. Because now we can take a look at all the statistics. 2,712 days. 7,720 beavers. Wow. That is a lot of water. 1.5 million water consumed. 395,773 tails painted. Over 1 million trees cut. 689 teeth broken. 13,543 bots manufactured. Almost 25,000 dynamite detonated with only 8 beavers exploded. Outstanding. Absolutely outstanding. But yes, the Beard Boosters make it possible for us to be able to take a look at these guys and all of their different submissions and everything. It is truly amazing to get to see the contributions of the community and the support of those folks to kind of streamline channel operations, make it so we don't have to have sponsors on any of this. Just really, really cannot say thanks enough for that. But it is time for us to move on from this and get back to our own fun. I always do really enjoy taking a look at your submissions for all these things. So until next time, stay safe, have fun, and I'll see you later. Bye-bye.